this out, Senator, and Jane can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's my understanding that testing down the road is to get into college is going to be tied to Common Core. Therefore, even homeschool children would have to be aware of what's taught in Common Core to be able to pass those tests. Is that right or wrong, Jane?
It is, well, potentially right. There were two people who wrote the English Language Arts Standards, essentially. It wasn't a bunch of people from the States. It was essentially two people, one of whom was David Coleman. David Coleman is the new president of the College Board, and he has been quoted as saying that he wants to align the SAT with Common Core. And if he does that, then that will definitely affect homeschool and private school children as well.
I wanted to mention one more thing as well, that our Lieutenant Governor, Casey Cable, came out yesterday with a statement indicating that he supported this effort and that he would like to see the bill move, and we're gratefully appreciative for the Lieutenant Governor taking that position.
The world gets smaller, and Georgia competes with other states for jobs, as Georgia children compete with children from other states in their career. People are more mobile than they used to be. It would seem like that you would embrace a common curriculum to make them more competitive, make the state more competitive, rather than trying to go the other way and isolate Georgia.
Actually, when you have national standards, you eliminate competition. If you look at the 3 federal bills dealing with education and read the record of the senators who testified in support of those bills, in those bills it said that there should be no national curriculum. And one of the primary reasons they said that is that the state should be the places where innovation occurs in education. And we can look around to see exactly what is working. And when you go to a common system, you lose that. In fact, what we're finding is that some of our competitors globally in other nations that have nationalized standards, they're trying to get out of it because they're finding that it kills innovation. Think of how large of a country we are. We have 300 million people here. It's impossible to tailor one set of standards to all of the diversity that we have in this nation. And it's our diversity that's really is one of the elements that have made this nation great. So we don't want to lose it.
Continuing on what the senator said, and I agree very much with what he did, you would think that there is one way, for example, to teach math. We are in the global economy. Well, Korea and Japan and Singapore have very different curricula. So does Finland. All of them are successful. Somehow believing that some curriculum coming from Washington will be the magic solution to all our problem, and we don't need to experiment and explore other ways, strikes me as rather unsupportable.
A simple answer to this gentleman's question is it kills the initiative of a student to do anything better than what the Common Core is.
To follow the previous remarks, and in response to your question, which is a very good one that has been asked many times, there are no international benchmarks for either set of standards. So we do not have any reason to think that our students will be competitive. It's more likely that they will become the janitors of the world because they're about 2 grades lower in both subjects than many of our top competitors. And that has been part of the problem, which is why I and several others did not sign off on the standards. They were not competitive. You will be told that over and over again, but no one ever mentions what country they claim to be competitive, to be internationally benchmarked with. That's a question that needs to be asked of people who claim that they're internationally benchmarked. But that's just a point of information.
The people supporting them said, well, Georgia's education has been so substandard for so long that this would be a way to pull Georgia up to be more competitive with the rest of the nation. Are you saying that was not the case and that Georgia doesn't need to catch up?
If you were trying to sell something, that would be a very good selling point. But there's nothing to back it up. Find out where the evidence is, or where there is anything, research or international benchmarks, that would support the claim that they're more rigorous. Naturally, if the salesman wants to sell you snake oil, they're going to tell you this is very good for whatever ailment you have, but you have to be a discerning consumer. And the state boards of education have not been, in this country, discerning consumers, and I speak from my having been on the State Board of Education in Massachusetts, which had some very able people who never asked one question: what does college readiness mean? I mean, they just accepted what they were told as a party line. So the question is, where is the evidence that there is something there that's stronger, internationally benchmarked? Find out specifics. Just because people tell you this, I would just hope that more of the media would begin to ask some hard questions and get some details. I'd like to see them.
We'll head towards the hearing room now. We appreciate your presence.